In this video, I'm going to discuss something super interesting that I haven't ever discussed on my entire YouTube channel as of till date, right? Which is going to be order pages or payment pages, right? So you must be thinking, what exactly is an order page? What exactly is a payment page, right? As it sounds, order page or a payment page is a page where you put your card details, right? And it you must be thinking that it can probably be a landing page itself, yes, but it's normally the second page where people, when they show interest, they go to the other page, and that's exactly where they proceed with the checkout process, right? And this is actually built natively inside Go High Level. So, in case you're not familiar with Go High Level, it's an all in one marketing platform where you can literally build your marketing systems, your funnels, your landing pages, your automations, and all of that inside one system itself, right? Which is crazy, which is amazing. And it's literally available for, peanuts prices, right? And in case you also want to have it as a white label, that's also a possibility with Go High Level. In case you're new to that and you haven't signed up, make sure you click on the link below, because that's an affiliate link, and that's exactly where you sign up and you get assistance for absolutely free from me, right? Apart from that, I'm going to show you exactly what we're talking about. So this was a client project that we recently finished, and again, an awesome project, awesome client, right? Loved it. I'm going to show you the landing page in my coming videos, but this is going to be the payment page, or also called as the order page. I want to show you that, and I want to explain you the psychology behind this, which is going to help you make it much more high converting compared to what other people are doing, which are probably not professionals into that. But I want to show you with my experience, right? So you might be thinking, who is Pritam? Who's this guy who's teaching about funnels, marketing, landing pages, websites, and all of that, right? So my name is Pritam. I run a Go High Level funnel website design agency. In case you want to learn more about me, just go to pritambhadra.com and you will have a better idea about who's this guy, what he does, right? By the way, just to let you know, I'm absolutely everything about Go High Level. So when it comes to automations, landing pages, design, copy, funnels, calendars, all of that is something that I deal with and I love to deal with, right? And not just that, you will be able to also see about our work and all of that jazz on our landing page. Just go to pritambhadra.com and you're all set. Not just that, I'm also a high level certified expert admin, directly certified by the high level team itself. Here you can learn more about me, Pritam Bhadra, go to automated file and website specialist, right? So let me explain you more about this particular page and where exactly this page is hosted. What is the sequence that you should be building these pages on, right? The first thing that you need to have is you need to have a sales funnel where you're normally selling something, right? So in this particular case, the use case was that they are selling a membership. It's a course online training membership. They have multiple memberships, so they have a long form landing page or a sales page, right, where they're literally selling their their funnel or their resources, right? What exactly they're doing and what they're going to give and all of that. So it's a long form landing page I'm going to show in the coming videos, right? But when somebody decides to proceed forward for the payment, they click on it and they go to a next page, which you also call as the payment page, right? That's the correct way to do it. A lot of these people have seen that they put the form on the landing page itself, which is works fine for some people, but I'll not recommend that, especially when you have a full blown a big product or a service that you're basically giving for on the landing page itself, right? So in that case, you should have a second page where you're basically correcting the card details, also called as the checkout page, right? So this is the page where you need to concise everything, all the information. You need to make it much more attractive as well, and not just so I have seen a lot of people just add the form element, the payment form element, and that's it, right? That's what they use in order for their own business. But that's not the right way to do it, because when you use design, when you use conversion oriented copy and great layouts, it can actually help you convert very high. And that's exactly the example here is exactly that. I've been with High Level. I've been using and building sales funnel for the last 3 years, and we've built numerous of these, and we've always seen that these kind of squeeze pages, I won't say squeeze pages, basically you're squeezing in people with more information, right, when they are paying with the credit cards, right? So as many of you know, payment, purchasing something is also an emotional decision where people tend to get away with the marketing gimmicks or the marketing systems that people are use in order to persuade you to pay it, right? And for those purposes, I have seen what people do is they want to have a separate page where you're not only collecting payments, but you want to showcase and give everything in terms of your testimonials, in terms of your offer, in terms of your hero image, and all of that in a crux format possible. Because once you do that, then people are going to have that confidence in themselves that hey, they're doing the right decision, right? Because they are not taking to a isolated page or somewhere where they are asked to put a card details. Rather, they can feel the vibe of the brand and the business, and they can literally feel confident in order to proceed forward with that. So a major part of this is for the funnel designer or the web designer who's actually working on that particular project, and the way he's going to design that. So this is what we have done for our particular client. As I said, this is the second page where people come in order to pay it. So it's also called as a payment page or an order page, right? Here, if you see here, of course, we have the logo here, we have the support email of theirs, right? Apart from that, we also mentioned that hey, this is the number one automation membership, membership program or a membership for home and service businesses, right? So we are very focused on the target audience again. So whatever we have already discussed in the long form format on the landing page, we're squeezing it down, but again giving all the information in a nut crux format to people when they are making that purchase decision, so that we can complement it in order to proceed forward and make that payment happen. Apart from that, the value proposition is also very, very clear and is shown up here, right? Which says that scale your home service business with seamless automated solutions. Not just that, we also have a supporting headline that actually shows the value of the value proposition on the headline, which is effortlessly remove tedious tasks, boost productivity, and enhance business operations for maximum impact. Here we have a one-step order form. We don't need a two-step order form at the moment. So a one-step order form that collects all the details so that people can check out and proceed forward for the payment. And on the second part here, we have the hero image, right? So if you can see, this is a very, very powerful, very, very well done hero image that we have done for our client, which actually shows these two experts, which are my client side, and they are the pioneers into it, and they are going to be, training people on these training programs that they are going to be hosting, right? We're also showcasing them the 3D mock-ups of your of laptops, of tablets, and of mobiles, right? Showcasing about automation, workflows, join now, and all of that. So all that psychologically affecting design psychology is actually built inside this. Apart from that, you also have this kind of clear gradient, I would say text, right, which basically says it's very, very simply, right? Hey, learn and implement our automation systems in your business, right? It clearly says that, hey, scale your home service business with seamless automated solution. And here are basically the four plans that people are going to get and they can choose from. So once they are actually add the product, as you can see here, there is no product available. But once the product gets added to this funnel, they will have these kind of four options, which are, automation foundation, which is basic, automation advanced, then you have automation insider, and then you have automation mastermind. And if you see here, in a very smart format, we actually crux that we actually condensed all that information and added all this here. Not just that, we have also given them a interactive element to play with, which is a drop down option, right? And they will be able to again see all the information that is there in terms of what exactly they are going to get if they choose to proceed forward with this particular plan. And that's exactly the plan they are going to get showcased here, which is going to be the four plans, the four memberships, right? So this is all about that, right? So they can so close this. So this actually helps builds the conversion, helps builds the confidence, and helps make you a lot more money, right? So that's the reason probably why you want to hire somebody like us in order to build your funnels, website, landing pages, and whatnot, right? So in case you want to work with us, just go to pritam.com and click on book an appointment and schedule a call for free and see that if that's a right fit, and we can discuss on that. We also have this kind of a little uh, s- uh, you know uh, software icon elements, because we want to showcase that hey, these people are using different kind of tools to automate it, not just Go High Level is just one software, but they want to use several other software as well. There's going to be a synchrony of different kind of software coming together, integrating together in order to make the life easier for these home service business and automate them so that they can make more profit and have to worry less about the tedious monotonous daily tasks. right? That's exactly how you build this. This is the entire psychology of this. But now I'm going to build it absolutely live in front of you guys so that you can have that confidence and that you can follow through the training like my other videos, right? Because it's been a while that I've been making some live training. So here you go. This is for my audience, you guys, right? Let's proceed forward. And so as you can see, let me close down these things, right? So by the way, the links are in the description already. So in case you want to check them out, make sure you go ahead, proceed, book a call with us, and we can absolutely help you do that because that's what we have been doing for the last 3 years already. Apart from that, let's discuss about this one, right? We're gonna build this particular sales page, which is actually a payment page of the sales funnel or the order page of the sales funnel. So we have a blank screen here. Now we are going to add, let's say, a section here. There's going to be a full width section, and I'm going to divide that into a two-row column for a simple reason that I want to host a logo in one, right? And then I want to host the service email in the other, right? Because I want people to have the support for them to reach out to us in the support email every single time on every single page because we want to let them know that we are there to support them, right? And we have that access being provided. So please reach out to us in case you want it. That's why basically you want that email on the top right hand corner, especially when you're doing any kind of purchase led activity. Okay. You can also have it at the bottom, of course, but then having on the top grabs the eyes and makes people secure that, hey, these support people are already there. So if something happens, let's say the payment system is not working, the card is not working, it failed, or whatever happened, they can always reach out to you for any kind of assistance. So that again, because as getting your credit card details out, putting it into that, getting a purchase done is the most difficult task on the internet. But you have to make sure that you build systems around it, designs around it, conversion oriented funnels around it, so that level is actually higher, right? So this is what we're going to do. I'm going to quickly add an image here. So let me add that image. I probably do not need such a big image. Probably I'm going to add 100. Let me see what exactly looks good. And then I'm going to add here, let's say, a subheadline, and the subheadline is going to be cornered. And I probably want to have it 18, right? One more thing that I want to do is I want to set some typography uh benchmarks, or I would say typography settings here, right? I want to have Anton here, which is going to be the main um, font, right? Apart from that, I want to have Poppins here. So Poppins is something that I'm going to use here as well. So this is probably a subheadline, but I want to make sure that this uses the content font. So that's there. Apart from that, I want to make sure that I use the support service, support email here to be added on this particular place, right? I don't want this to be blue because the reason for this is blue at this point of time is very simple, that this is now a hyperlink, and the hyperlink goes to mail to support at servicemastery.com, right? Very, 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 very clever way of doing it. Add a hyperlink in your support email so that in your support email a text, so that people when click on it, they naturally go to their inbuilt email system, right? So a nice way of doing it, but I definitely want to make it a blackish tone so that it's perfectly visible. Apart from that, I want to get all the design assets here on my account. So I'm going to quickly grab these details as well. Let me proceed forward and let me grab all of them. Okay, I have most of it at this point of time. They're just getting loaded now. Okay, sounds perfect. Let me get the logo added here. Probably looks like the logo is a bit smaller, so I'm gonna make it 130 and see if that suits better. That actually suits better. Probably 120 should do a better job. Apart from that, I am going to make it 10. Also here 10. I'm not quite satisfied, so I'm gonna make sure that I reduce the spacing here to probably 5, and the same goes for here as well, 5, right? Because I don't want the top section to be that wide, because I'm more focused on the things that are going to come after that. But I understand the importance of it, so I'm not going to ignore it anyways. So let's make it 0 anyway. We don't need it at all. So let's make it 0. By the way, GoHighLevel did a pretty amazing job with their margin builder, so I love that. So I'm gonna make sure that I'm using that in the best way possible. And so I'm getting that done here as well. Apart from that, now I want a full width section here. This full width section should have a background that I'm going to use, which is going to be this one, right? And this is going to be 100% width. Right? As you can see, they have some amazing shadows here, which I really, really love. So this kind of design effect is done by our team, and they probably do an amazing job in there as well, because our clients love the way we work, and that's definitely because of the design eye that we have, apart from the systems eye, where we build marketing systems for our clients, right? So let's make it 20, and I think that's particularly fine. Let's make it white. That's also done. Also, so I want something, yes, I want this not to touch the border. I want this to have its own cocoon itself, right? So I want something like that. So for that, I'm probably going to just add a 20 pixel of space margin here and 20 pixels of margin there as well. So this is going to give me the flexibility in order to have some spacing on the left and the right side. So I think everything looks good here. Nothing to be worried about. Probably I just want to make sure that the spacing here is also taken care of now. So that's pretty much it. Apart from that, now I want a two-row column because I want the first row to host this entire thing, right? And then I want the second column to host this entire thing of images, letting them understand about exactly this is, showing them the offers and everything. And then obviously this one and the final footer, right? So for that, I'm just going to make sure that I have everything in a one row, two column setup, right? So now I want to make sure that I just add all of these details here. So let's proceed forward and let's add these paragraph text. These are probably needs to be in a color that I want. So let's say I get them into this color. I go to the top left hand side. One more thing that I want to do is I want all the text and the content to be on the top, as you can see here. So even if this is stretching, this will keep stretching. Even then, they are stuck at the top, right? They are not coming down. They're not coming at the middle. They're not coming at the bottom. That's exactly what we want. We want the page to keep getting longer, right? Even when we are adding content to it or we are increasing the height of something, right? And then when we're reducing it, I want this to seamlessly come together, which just comes up, right, without any kind of issues. So that's what we are looking for. So at this point of time, what we need here is we want to make sure that we select the column. We go to the column settings here in general, as you can see here, general. And I want to go to the bottom section here. And as you can see, something called as column layout. In this column layout, I want content spacing here to be left aligned, right? When you make content spacing left aligned, then doesn't matter how much content that you add on the side column. The column itself will have the content stick to it, the top section of it, the top part of it. Okay, that's basically how things work when you use these kind of settings. Okay, so I'm going to make sure this is 18. I think 18 looks good, but probably a bit too much. I think 16 will do the job here, right? Now I want to have this clear value, which is our headline here. So I'm going to have that as well. I'm going to make sure that is white, and then I add the uh, value here. By the way, you must be thinking who does all the copywriting for us. The copywriting is done by our team, of course, and they do pretty amazing job, as you can see here. So let me just make it 10 pixel of spacing, right? One thing that you'll notice here is, can you see this? This is complete white, okay? It's complete white without using any kind of coding, any kind of custom CSS. But if you see this isn't complete white. This is white and gray and silver kind of mixed together in order to have this kind of premium effect, which is only possible with CSS, unfortunately, at this point of time. So you should be learning a bit of CSS in terms of learning it and then implementing it into your Go high level funnels and websites, right? Wherever you get a chance to. Actually have the CSS already being written down. So that's already there. So I'm just going to tag that same CSS to here. So I go to the advanced section and then go to custom class. I'm going to add that custom class here. Now, the moment I added the custom class, you can see that same effect which I'm able to receive here as well, right? And now I'm going to add this subheading. Now for that also, I'm going to use this paragraph. Let me just drag it down a bit. I'm going to change the color, of course. So let me select that again and let me add a 10 pixel of spacing. On top of it, I am going to add some white color here, right? And then I'm going to add an icon, which is going to be a correct icon, right? And probably the icon is already black, so I want to make it white. And now I want to add that subheadline here. Okay. I don't want it to be black. I don't want bold. So I'm just going to make sure this is not bold. And now, as you can see here, right, this is the subheadline. The subheadline actually shows and supports the main value proposition here, right? Because you want to have the AI automated systems for you so that you can actually help in these kind of tasks, which is remove tedious tasks, boost productivity, enhance business operation, and maximum impact, all of that, right? So now I want to have this payment form, which is going to be the order form. And this is, ladies and gentlemen, a one-step order form. So I'm going to type order. As you can see here, we have a two-step order form, we have a one-step order form, and we have an order confirmation. You might be thinking where exactly how we should be using all these three, right? One-step order form is something similar to this, where you have everything, all the options and the fields to be displayed is publicly available in front of your eyes. Here you can put your company name, full your full name, email, phone number, and details, and put your card details and proceed to the checkout. That's it. And then when you go to the checkout, you're probably going to another page, which is the thank you page. And the thank you page will have this order confirmation. So order confirmation is linked to your particular order page so that whenever somebody goes to this, it's going to give them a success message that, hey, your order of this value of this name was successful. It's super important for that as well. For a two-step order form, I'll just showcase to you. A two-step order form basically looks something like this, right? Here it talks about all about getting your information, your name, email, phone number, company address, shipping address, countries, and all of that. It will not give you any details in terms of pricing, what is the cost, right? About asking your credit card details, nothing like that. It's going to give you everything possible so that you do not have to put a larger effort to proceed into it. And the moment you sign up, you go to the second page, right, which is going to be here, step two. In this step two, you'll have your card details, you will have all the items being displayed and all of that, and you have to put your card details, right? And the reason for that is very simple. Anyone who wants to use an abandoned cart sequence, for those people, they're going to use a two-step order form. For those people who are not going to use a abandoned cart sequence, for them, they're going to use a one-step order form, right? So that's pretty much what you're going to use here. We're going to use a one-step order form here. So that's it, right? A one-step order form is what we're going to use. Uh, Sorry about that. This should not be 100 width, rather it should be full centered, right? So as you can see, this is quite long, all right? What exactly we need is we need the company name. So let me walk you through the entire one step order form, right? Let me just give some spacing on top of it so that okay. Let me just add that as well. So as you can see here, this is what we have the one step order form. So let me quickly add some spacing onto it. Okay, so you don't have that option. So I'm going to go to the paragraph and add some bottom margin to it. That's also going to do the job pretty well, right? So that's fine. Now we're going to go to the one step order form, as you can see here, right? So let's go to the general section, which is a one step order form. You can make it align left, align middle, align right. As you can see here, the content here is also keeps changing, right? So basically, we want everything on the left hand side because that just looks much more professional and nice. You can have the button color change. As you can see, the button color here is particularly blue. I want this particular kind of violet, so I want to take that color here. So let me just grab that color here. So I just grab that color from my extension tool, and I'm going to add that color here, which is going to be this particular color, and boom, it's added. See, that looks good. Complete order looks perfect, right? So we need name, we need full name, we need email, phone number, right? Button text color is white is fine. We need button size, extra small, medium, large. You can choose all of that, right? You also have input background color. So input background color here is white. You can choose gray, you can choose a red, you can choose orange. Probably not so good colors to use, right? But I'm just going to showcase you. Probably let's use a lighter shade color just for reference, right? Then we have the form corners. I probably want to make it 10 pixels just to make it look good, but not sure if that's going to work in here. But yeah, 10 pixels should be good. Content font is fine, right? And the sales action is always going to be go to the next step, right? Because the next step is actually hosts the order confirmation page, right? So that's exactly where it's going to be. Let's go to the advanced section where the actual juice is. So I'm gonna juice things up, right? Shipping and your information, right? So that's you can change it, by the way. So you can, whatever you change is going to be changed here, right? So keep that in mind. Upgrade your offer, which is sub headline. Again, you can change something here. That's going to be changed here. Name of the company, yes, we want it. If we hide it, it's gone. If we want it, as you can see here, it's had 10 pixels. So anyways, company name is fine, full name is fine, full name validation, right? What exactly you mean by full name validation? So many of these, since this is a one field, right? Since this is only one field, right? So let's say you only write Pritam, right? Right. Then it's going to detect and say, hey, please enter both first name and last name, right? Because it literally detected that you only have one word, and word doesn't mean the full name, right? So I have to write the complete name in order for it to accept it, right? So that happens when you want it, and that's how the full name validation works, right? So you have email address, you have toggle phone number. Of course, you want phone numbers. Show phone number, yes, you want it. Enable country picker. So you do not need really the shipping address, depending on if you're selling something physical. Let's say you're selling a physical book, you're selling some kind of products that you want to physically ship. In that case, you're gonna enable showing shipping. For this, we don't want it, so we're basically going to hide shipping from this particular part, right? So that's pretty much it. That's exactly how we want this to look at, right? So payment, select item, pricing, all of that is not needed. Enable cart mode basically means that you can buy it multiple times, so I'll not add that. For description is fine, but we can add it if you want it. So let that be. Passing information is given. Enable order bump. So when you enable order bump, right, then you can actually add an order bump here, select a product and all of that, and headline and OTO headline, OTO text, image, enable by default, and all of that you can add it. When you enable by default, it's going to count it directly as part of your payment and is going to add on top of what you're trying to pay, which is going to be the main product here. Right, so we don't have an order form, so in that case we don't need it, so we're going to just close this down, right? Apart from this, now we have sticky contacts. Yes, probably we want sticky contact. Let me just add that. Any contact on every purchase, that's fine. No, that's not needed. Validate disposable emails, no, that's not necessary. For mobile, and I think this is, of course, we want it to be visible on mobile and on laptop, so that's particularly fine. So that's pretty much how it is, right? I probably going to go to the general section again and make sure this is not 10, this is 5, because 5 looks much better. Okay, so this looks much better. Now what we want is we want to build the right section, which is where we have a lot of convincing going on in terms of image, in terms of text, in terms of showcasing the offer in a nutshell, right? So this is the very important part, because that also helps build trust and credibility. First of all, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go to advanced section. I'm going to add a full border, and then I'm going to give it a color, all right? And then I'm going to have a border radius of, let's say, 15 pixels. Okay, this is not that bright. I'm going to make sure that I go to this bright color. What exactly is this bright color? I'm not know, but I'm going to get that color here for sure. Okay, oops, I'm going to get that color anyways. So let me get that color here. I got it, right? So now I'm going to go here. I'm going to place it. I'm going to add my color here, because we want to exactly get that done. Also, as you can see here, this kind of column, it's kind of a column, second column here is very close to the first column here, right? Since there is no border, so it doesn't really look really nice. So I'm going to give some spacing to it, because as you can see here, there is some spacing, almost 20 pixels of spacing, and it looks nice. It looks very well spaced, very well built actually by a professional person. So I'm going to make sure that I go to the margin here and add 20 pixels, and that's exactly how you build kind of spacing in this part, right? Now I also want this to be left aligned, because I don't want things to go up and down when things are changing dynamically. So I want to make sure I focus on that. I want to also add an image here, which is going to be the image of the hero section, the founders there. So that's something important, so I want to add that. So let's say that's added. Apart from that, let me just add some spacing on top of it here. So that can be taken care of. Apart from that, I also want it to go a bit beyond, as you can see here, a bit beyond this part. This gift is a 3D feeling, so I like 3D feelings in my work. So that's something that I'm going to be looking at. So let's get that done as well. Cool. I think this looks pretty good. Now also want this headline to be here, which is scale your home service business with seamless automated solutions. So for that, I'm going to have, okay, I don't need this. I basically want this headline here, and I'm just going to drag that here, right? That's it. But I also want this center align. So I'm going to go to general. I'm going to center align it. One thing that you'll see that it retained that same gradient effect on it because of the CSS being applied. So make sure that you're applying CSS in order for these things to make and look beautiful. Now, apart from it, I now want to have these kind of FAQ options. It's not really FAQ, but we're using the FAQ element for that. So here we are using the FAQ element in order to showcase all the offers. So that's something that we are going to do here, of course. So here we are going to write FAQ. And as you can see here, we're going to use separated ones, right? And that we are going to use these kind of all these texts, right? So first, going to be automation foundation, which is basic program that we're going to have. Go to the advanced part, right? And then we are going to have the colors option, of course. But most importantly, I want to make sure the font option is selected correctly. Font family is going to be here Poppins. So that's taken care of. Default font is also going to be Poppins. That's taken care of as well. Let me add the content here first, and then let's work on everything else. So we have the content here, and then we also have the content, which is what exactly this program is all about. So that's also taken care of. One thing that you find is when you copy it, it's not going to give you a good idea in terms of spacing. So you have to just manually make sure that spacing is corrected. And that's not a huge task, by the way, just making sure everything looks nicer and proper. At the same time, these kinds of you just need to make sure that these are also bolded. So just for bolding purposes, this is you just can simply bold like this, and it's going to look very nice as well. So that needs to be done manually a bit, but that's particularly fine because you can have more customizable options. That's of course an added advantage here. So as you can see now, I have already added it. This looks pretty nice in terms of design and layout. I have this image. I don't need it, so I'm going to show off. So I don't need that show image option. Okay. Now let's proceed forward for the second one. You might be thinking regarding the colors. I won't change the colors later on, so don't worry about it. For now, I'm going to have the automatic advanced standard. Let me click on that and let me get this added as well. Now I want the content here as well, which is the second offering of the membership program, right? So let me get that added here as well. Again, something like this. Okay. Now I want to make sure that this is bolded. All right. So let's make this bold. Cool. I probably do not also want to have the image here, so there's no need of it. This image is only for representation purposes in case you want to have some kind of uh, image driven representation. So in that case, you can definitely do it. Okay. So apart from that, this I think looks pretty cool. Now let's go ahead and let's start building the third item, right? The third item here is going to be premium. So let me add the premium one here as well. Then we want to have add this one here. Okay, looks good. I think it looks fantastic. The structure, it looks very nice. It's all about your creativity, how you're using these kind of elements that are provided by Go High Level, and then you use it to in your maximum capability. So that's very crucial. So as you can see here, this looks very nice. So I'm going to bold that out. So this just makes sure that they will be able to read all the benefits easily of these programs, and then they can basically decide which program is more suitable for them, right? So let me duplicate this because I need a fourth one as well, which is going to be the automatic mastermind. But let me just duplicate it and keep it that way because I want to showcase you more about the design aspect of it. So now I want to have this, you know, this green color option. So I want to make sure that I get that color here. So let me grab that color once again. And then I'm going to go to advanced section of these FAQs. And then I'm going to go to color options. And probably I want the colors here to be changed. Let me just add the color and let me see how that looks. Yep, that looks very, very familiar. Um, yep, here as well, we need to add that color. I think this looks fantastic. Apart from that, the blue color here doesn't, I probably wanted black. That's all I want, right? I think that's pretty much it. All right. Let me just quickly preview it and showcase to you how this particularly looks. And then we can add more items on this particular page as well. Because we are yet to add all the things at the bottom, which is going to be this element and of course the footer. So I'm going to show you everything step by step. So no worries about it, right? I think this looks pretty nice. Of course, we don't have payments added to this particular page, so it's not showing the payment section. So, but apart from that, you are getting great idea of how exactly this is going to look. I think this looks fantastic. So let's proceed forward and let me quickly add that image here, which is going to be the image of all the tools, right? So for that, we're going to go general. Let me quickly grab that image as well. Here you go. The image is now added. Probably I want to have it around 400 pixels. No, 340 pixels is good enough, right? Now I want to have a particular full width altogether. In this full width, uh, we are going to have this particular footer, and this is quite simple to build, right? In case you're thinking about how you will be building this, let me get a black tone color. Not just that, I also want to make sure that there is enough spacing here. So let's say I add 40 pixels, and now this looks much more better. I want to have a one row, two column structure. Again, I want to duplicate probably this image. It's going to be the logo. I'm going to drag it down a little, right? And then add it here. Right? As simple as that. You just want to make sure that you are using the same logo of your brand. You can also use the white version of your logo, but that's up to you how you want to use it. So I want to keep that here. I'm probably going to make it 110, right? And then what I'm going to do is I also want to make sure that the columns are again set to left because I don't want adding additional text means that the logo itself changes as well, which is not something I'm looking for. So I want to add privacy policy, terms and condition and all that jazz here as well. So subheadline, adding that, uh, making sure that that's, let's say, 18, right? That's left align and that is using a content font and that's probably gray or slight gray, right? If you're doing that, you have two more. Let's say you're also now adding 10 pixel spacing so that you have some spacing alignment as well. That's again crucial, right? You need to make sure that you're also giving some spacing in order for things to work. So that's also taken care of. Terms and conditions. And then you have support email here. Of course, like as I mentioned, always have the support email on top as well as on the bottom, just so that you can give more chances for people to look into it and then, eventually decide and proceed forward to pay. In case they have any queries, they can always come back. So that can also be a deal closer selection as well, right? So ladies and gentlemen, that's how literally you build it. But let me also show you how to build it inside the mobile mode as well, right? So let me click on this and let me make sure, because as you can see here, this is not built as per the mobile version. So first things first, I want to make sure that I am duplicating the first section here, right? Because now we're going to make sure that it is built on 400% mobile version. First thing is going to be, first section is going to be just for desktop, and the second is going to be for mobile. Let's proceed forward. Just make sure that this is center aligned. I don't want the logo to be that big, so I probably want it to be, let's say, 18. I also want this email here to be center aligned. and I don't want this to be that big, so I probably want this to be 14, right? Now I want, now we're going to the second section, which is this one. So we can definitely work on this. We want this to be center aligned. We want this to be 14 pixels. And this should also be center aligned with 25, probably should look good. This one also can be center aligned and can be with 14. I think this looks seamlessly well. I really like it. I have almost 20 pixels of spacing in there. I do not want it. I don't think so there is any reason for me to have spacing in there, which is why I'm going to make it 10 pixels only so that I can have more room. Also, as you can see, it looks a bit squeezed in for the reason that we have 20 pixels on the desktop mode here, which looks good on the desktop mode here and 20 pixels on the right hand side, but it doesn't look good on the mobile mode. So I'm going to go to the mobile mode and specifically remove that because hey, I don't need it anymore, right? So this is specifically going to be for the mobile mode. So I'm going to make sure that all that is taken care. Now it looks a bit more wider and I think it looks nicer as well. So instead of 26, let me make it 32 and then see how it looks. Probably looks good. Probably 30 also will look better. So here you go. Now one thing here is this column here kind of takes a lot of space. So I just want to make sure that this is also taken care properly. I'm going to make sure this is of 20 pixels. And this image here, which we added minus 50 pixels to, is also reduced to 0. Same goes for this one. This, I guess, is bold. So I'm going to make it unbold. And then I'm going to make sure this is around 26, right? And everything else looks seamless. This image here, I think this is fine. 300. We can just make it 300 for things to look professional. The logo here looks fine. This probably in the mobile mode needs to be at 14. So let's add all of these at 14. I think that should be it. Because whatever we do in the mobile mode should not be reflecting on the desktop mode. The desktop mode, everything should be as it is. Ladies and gentlemen, that's exactly how you build a high converting, highly professionally built order page or a payment page for your sales funnel. And in case you want to work with us, go to pritam.com or click on the link below in order to book a free call. But I want to show you how exactly this looks as the final version of it. Let me quickly take it to 100 version, and I think this looks absolutely stunning, right? This is where you will have the confidence in order to proceed forward and complete the payment because this literally builds up that confidence and credibility that is going to help you with more checkout. But hey, wait for it. I'm going to show you the complete landing page also in some time. So make sure you wait for it, right? Again, giving all the details in the simplest way possible is the key here. That's what we are doing. And not just that, as you can see here, I'm probably going to show you that this is also a 100% mobile optimized version. As you can see here, this looks seamlessly good. I love it. We're currently using the iPhone 14 Pro Max for in terms of dimension so that we can make sure that this looks good in the mobile version. And I think this looks fantastic. Anybody who wants to learn more about it can just simply click and get to know about it. And this just a very very well built uh, part of a sales funnel. So that's important. It's very, very crucial. A lot of these people, a lot of businesses focus on hiring good people for the front page only. But I highly recommend that all pages, all part of your project should be highly, highly well done and well focused, right? And that's what we do as a business. I hope you liked it. Stay tuned for more videos, guys, because it's going to be amazing, professionally done, amazing tutorials are going to come up here. It's going to be value packed knowledge, right? And I'm sure you are definitely going to learn more on that. Thank you so much for watching the video. I'll see you on the next one.